All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the Collectors Conference. Featuring my good friend Rick from It's All For You Demon. My friend, my brother, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing exceptionally well because this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Have you on my show and also do a collectors centered episode where I just get together with a friend, a Kiss collector, and just talk about the fun of being a Kiss collector and just how it relates to us, our fandom, and of course, invite everybody else who's watching and listening to join the fun of the conversation because, as everybody knows, if you've watched Rick's channel, and I hope you have, if not, subscribe to It's All For You Demon. He's very nostalgic centered. He's very Kiss fan centered, Kiss collecting centered. And so I thought, what better way to kick off the collectors conference than to have a one-on-one episode. So my friend, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. My hat's off to Kiss Army things all the time. Your channel carries this fandom now. I really think that from the bottom of my heart. I've watched your channel grow, and I think you are the voice of the future for Kiss fandom.
Well, I certainly appreciate it because I have to say that you do something, your videos and your channel does something for me, fulfills something in me that I wanted when I was in high school, which was good, wholesome, fun Kiss content. I got really sick and tired of the constant toxic energy that seems to just like make its way through a lot of the Kiss fan base. And so being in high school, a young fan especially, it wasn't always fun. And so I saw all my friends with their fandoms and their likes and you know how they had all these awesome videos. And I was like, man, I wish I had that. But I'm glad to say that at almost 30 years old, every Friday night, I look forward to getting on YouTube and sitting with my wife, who's also a Kiss fan. Man, if I could tell myself when I was 15, yeah, you and your wife are both going to be huge Kiss fans consuming some great Kiss content, I'd be like, yeah, that's a dream world right there. So thank you seriously for all the work that you do, all the love that you put into your videos, because it truly does something for me. And obviously, if you read the comments, it does something for a lot of people too. So I'm glad that we have this friendship that we do. And if you and anybody watching, you can see behind us, we're both Kiss collectors. So if you are too, we want you to join the fun, join the conversation. But before we talk about any Kiss stuff, actually, let's mention this first. So I want everybody to stay tuned until the end because Rick has an important announcement for the Kiss Army, and I don't want anybody to miss it. So if you're going to watch this episode, I want you to stay tuned until the very end. It's in our chapters too, so you can watch for it when Rick has a huge announcement for us. I cannot wait for that. But before we talk about any Kiss stuff, I want to talk about some Kiss music. So Rick, you know the show. We do the Kiss Spotlight around here, talk about the Kiss media, Kiss music, whatever it is that we've been consuming this week or this past day or whatever. So I want to pass it over to you, and I want you to tell us what you've been consuming as far as Kiss music, Kiss media goes.
A lot of Hot in the Shade. And I don't know, well, the bundle just came out. So I was able to get that. I picked up the foil bundle.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
love it.
So there's the foil cover. Kind of hard to see with
that
the.
Looks. Yeah. I love the foil covers that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know if November is a Hot in the Shade time for me, but I really get nostalgic for 80s Kiss smashes and Hot in the Shade around November. And I maybe has a lot to do with a magazine I got 1989 November when I was just becoming a fan when I was 15. So it's been a lot of 80s Kiss for me. And I actually subjected my wife to like an entire night of 80s YouTube Kiss videos.
Oh, yeah.
And we hit the Smashes videos, and she was like, this is horrible. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to love it. I mean, You Make Me Rock Hard. I love that song. That song has such a great hook in it. And it's a cheesy video, but just the fun of 80s Kiss.
I've always loved those two songs, and I've always wondered what's wrong with me because they're the two that always end up on the bottom of the list. And I'm like, man, those are some of the most fun songs to sing.
Mhm.
Bruce's guitar solos are awesome. I know it's probably more than likely a drum machine, drum programming, but I like to picture Eric Carr playing. I still like to air drum it. It's just both of those songs are super fun. And yeah, both those videos are about as 80s as you can get. And Paul was in his almost like Michael Jackson phase in Let's Put
Oh
the X in
yeah,
Sex, where it was just like, oh wow, okay.
the dance moves I think were what really made my wife giggle. But I was like, you can't deny it. He was the perfect rock star in the 80s. Like he was the perfect rock star in the 70s. He also had it in the 80s. You can't deny it.
Absolutely. No, 100%, 100%. Did you see that I think it was Ultimate Classic Rock post where the writer, the author said, you know, it was called Kiss's worst lyrics or dumbest lyrics per my wife, and
Oh wow.
he sat his wife down and like because he I guess the writer's a huge Kiss fan, has been a Kiss fan for a while, and so he kind of like us, you know, subjected his wife to a bunch of Kiss, and I think that Let's Put the X in Sex and maybe a couple other ones came up as being like, you know, Kiss's dumbest lyrics, and it was from her perspective, and so it was very entertaining.
That's
If you get a
awesome.
chance, you may check that out. But so my Kiss spotlight is actually a little unconventional. I don't know if I've ever done a Kiss spotlight like a Kiss spotlight like this before. But did you see the official Kiss fan curated playlist?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that has been my my Kiss spotlight since it was announced. I think within the last week or so, Kiss posted and said that they got together with Matt Porter. Everybody knows Matt Porter from the Kiss Room, huge Kiss fan. Loves Kiss, has an amazing show, amazing radio show about Kiss, and has for a long, long time. I'm sure everybody knows, but just in case you didn't. But anyway, so I guess Pop House reached out to him and got his list of songs that he feels are, you know, hidden hits. And he basically, whatever was on Spotify that he wanted, he could put on there. And I mean, he's got, it starts off with It's My Life from the Creatures
Mhm.
demo. It's got some stuff from the Destroyer box set, the demos, and even songs from Sonic Boom and Monster. So it's an all encompassing playlist that Matt Porter made. And I was just like, how awesome is that? I know there were some folks that thought it was kind of stupid, lame, unnecessary, but I was like, how cool would it be? How cool must it be for Matt Porter right now to have your favorite
Oh
band
god.
reach out to you and say, hey, we're going to put you on an official Kiss. We want your hits, your songs, your choices. It even says fan curated by Matt Porter. And I'm like, man, I feel like we can live vicariously through that as like a Kiss fan and be like, that's awesome.
Yeah, when I saw that, that was my first thought. I was like, good for him. I mean, to have Pop House contact you and say, "Hey, will you basically work for Kiss for a minute?" Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to be a part of a cool, fun fan project for us. That's gonna, you know, hopefully be. They said it was going to be a recurring initiative, and that's kind of what also sparked my interest because, I mean, they could be reaching out to anybody, and it's like that's cool that Pop House is wanting to, you know, reach out to the fans in that way, create that connection. Which I mean, Kiss they were always good to their fans, and they always made sure to create special moments. But Kiss never, you know, Gina Paul never, as it were, got with a fan and was like, hey, put
Mhm.
together a playlist and we're going to like pump this out for you. There was always that line still between the fans and the band. And Pop House being the new, you know, curator for Kiss was like, that was super cool to hear. And I
Mhm.
think even Joe from podcast Rock City was also, he did an episode on his show talking about how Pop House reached out to him, interviewed him about why he's a Kiss fan and why he likes being a Kiss fan and what he wants to, you know, see in the future or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
that's going to be really cool for Kiss fans, having them literally survey them like that. I was like, wow, that's really cool. But as far as the music goes, yeah, it's been that playlist. I listened to it probably 2 or 3 times in total. Was listening to it before this. It's about 32 songs. So I loved it, and I hope they do continue that because it was super sweet.
Very much so. It in not in a, what am I trying to say? Not in a like reflective way, but it did inspire me to kind of start my own playlist just in my own streaming. And
Yeah,
I am doing a Christmas disco playlist.
A Kiss
And
Christmas disco?
yes, it's a
Whoa.
Kiss Christmas disco rock playlist. And I only have 4 songs in it so far, but I love it. It's I'm gonna make it like it's a double record, and it's
Oh, I
so much fun
love
so
that.
far.
I love that. So is it going to be like Dynasty and Unmasked and things like that, or we'll have to just wait and see?
So far, I have some Dynasty, some Unmasked, and some solo.
Okay, that's
But
fantastic. Love that. Love that.
and that's what's fun about being a Kiss fan is like just getting inspired by something someone does, and you
Hmm.
just go off and have fun too.
Well,
That's
and I
what I
think
love
that,
about it.
yeah, and I feel like that's what's kind of like keeping the fun going in 2024 into 2025 is like, with the band obviously being off tour, it's like, okay, well, we're not just going to stop being fans, right? So we have to keep the fun going in some way. And I feel like with our podcasts, our channels, and our personal projects, as we're going to, learn about later, it's like that's what keeps the fun going. And so I know I'm inspired by Kiss fans too. So, and I opened up a Word document and was like, okay, what would be like my ultimate like Kiss fan playlist? What do I feel like would represent me as a Kiss fan or my hidden hits? And so, yeah, it was really cool. I didn't get to make it an actual Spotify playlist, but yeah, it was just a cool idea to
Mhm.
toy around with. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that in the future. But that's going to be our Kiss spotlight this week. I want to now go ahead and get into the main brunt of the episode, which, as I've already stated, is the Collectors Conference. This originally was going to be something. I had this idea, I think, in January of this year. I was like, how cool would it be to kick off the year getting, several Kiss collectors together of my, friends and talking about just the past and the present and current state of Kiss collecting and where it's going to go. And something always just got in the way. There were all these anniversary releases and just different things I wanted to do. So it never happened. And I was like, well, I don't want to abandon the idea. It needs to happen. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I think I need to just kick this off with Rick and have a one-on-one, and I'll invite people back on to do an episode, in the future. This will be like a mini recurring series. But I thought, why don't I just get Rick together and talk about just the fun of being a Kiss collector? But I want to go ahead and pass this off to you and have you sort of like, I guess, share your beginnings as a Kiss collector. We're always talking about how we became Kiss fans, but I feel like obviously not every Kiss fan is a collector, but every Kiss collector is a Kiss fan. And so I want you to kind of tell us, like, how did it start for you, and where does that journey begin?
So I became a fan in '88, and Smashes was already out, and then Hot in the Shade was my first record, and then this was my first Kiss magazine, The Might and Magic
Mm,
of Kiss, from November '89, and this was like my Bible. No internet. I just had 2 CDs and a cassette tape, and so this was all my collection was just this magazine. And my first exposure to Kiss collecting was in here,
oh,
was just
that
a
is
picture of all this merch. And at the time, 1989, you're thinking, well, I'm never going to see that. And slowly got into vinyl. And my friend Danny, who introduced me to Kiss, we didn't know anything came in the records at all. And I bought Unmasked for $7. And I was walking out of the store I bought it at, and I looked inside and I saw Paul's face, like a cartoon of it. And I pulled it out, and it was the poster, the Unmasked poster. And my jaw just hit the ground. I had only seen that poster in Exposed, where it's on the
okay.
wall in the living room. I had no idea it was in an album. And I just ran to Danny's house, told him about the poster, and that kind of set it off. Like, we can get this stuff. I don't know where else we're going to find it, but I just bought this at a variety store, so little antique shop. So we were on the road to collecting, and then in '93, I think we were at Borders Books, and we found the Kiss
Kiss
Collectibles
collector.
book, and
Nice.
this was just like, it was like a checklist. And so it's like, it's on now. We have it's like a price guide. And I mean, the prices are ridiculous.
I've never seen
Like
that before, I don't think.
white label promos in here are listed for $75,
Oh, wow.
which
Okay,
they're
gotcha.
$500 on eBay now. But
Right.
this was just, and I mean, I've used this book. I mean, all the color photos have fallen out of it. And I mean, this thing is a worn out, well used book since 1993. But
That is awesome.
once we found this, it was on. Like we had a checklist, and I was fully on this road. And I think eBay has just made it easier. I hate to say, I thought it was more fun when everything's in the wild, and of course prices weren't crazy, but that's what started it, was just a combination of those three things. And I've always been a collector. Like when I was a little kid, Star Wars figures out the wazoo.
Okay.
And then, Kiss just lent itself to that anyway, because Kiss is like Star Wars, Marvel, and a rock band all rolled into one. So
Facts. That is awesome. I love that. I knew that you were an 80s fan, and I've heard you talk about that, but I didn't know about all of that as you becoming a collector. So I know one of the things that you absolutely love to collect is Dynasty. It's one of your favorite eras. You love, 78 era Kiss. So has that always been a thing too, or was there one item where you were like, okay, this I think just kicked off the whole thing?
it was a combination of me deciding Dynasty was my favorite record. For the longest time, Rock and Roll Over was my favorite record.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hit me. I'm not a Baby Driver fan.
Okay.
So I always skipped that one. But Dynasty was the only record I never skipped a track. And so I was like, well, I'm going to make this my number one record. And then I started kind of collecting Dynasty on vinyl, just different like foreign pressings and whatnot. And then one day I got the superhero poster that's inside the Unmasked merch form.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I got that. And that was kind of like, I was like, oh man, this whole like 79, 80 disco thing is awesome. And I was like, it's on. I'm just going to do Dynasty. And I would love to only collect Dynasty, but then you do that, and one day you see, something from Australia in 1980, and you're like, well, I want that too. And it's hard to focus only on one thing, but if I had all the money in the world, my collection would only be Dynasty.
For sure.
Just for the grins of it.
I love it. It's funny. I think it was yesterday. I was on Facebook and I happened to see this in one of the Kiss groups. Someone had posted a video of like 8mm film footage that was shot in the pit or in the crowd at a Dynasty show. I think it was a Vancouver show. And I had a moment where Daphne was with me too. We were watching it together and we kind of just paused and we were just mesmerized for a second by Kiss in 79 on stage, because I feel like that might be one of the eras I've seen the fewest of when it comes to like live stuff. That's an era I don't really have a lot of footage of personally. I know there's like the Largo show or whatever show was included on Kissology Volume 2 bonus DVD.
Largo.
Was it Largo? Yeah, for sure. So there's that. And of course, you have the music videos where they're in their costumes. But seeing Paul in that costume, that purple outfit on stage was just magical, because the Sure Know Something video was one of the first music videos I ever saw of Kiss when I was like 3 years old. So that
was that on Extreme Close Up?
It was the second video. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It goes Unholy and then Sure Know Something. And so
I was right there with you. I was 18 at the time, but I remember that video rolling into that video, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, because Eric's talking, and it's always funny because it was always like he knew it was coming, because Eric's talking and he's talking really fast, like he's trying to finish his sentence, and underneath that the music is louder and louder, and then da na 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 na, I've been a gambler, and it was just when it pops into that video and Ace does the twirl with the cape, and Gene's pretending to flick his bass, and Paul's just Paul because he's Paul, right? He's amazing. But yeah, that video and then watching that 8mm film video was crazy. And it made me appreciate Dynasty a little bit more because it's one of the eras that, yeah, I feel like I haven't really seen that much of. So that was really cool. And I feel like when it comes to the Dynasty era for you, maybe like the current era for me, where it's like when it comes to collecting, like that seems to be a really big focus. But actually, for me, I never really thought that I would ever be a Kiss. It was never on my radar, being a Kiss collector. I saw an extreme close up at the end. Gene talks about the conventions and how they buy and sell Kiss merchandise. Of course, Gene talked about the merchandise boom in the 70s. They talk about that and how it kind of almost usurped the band towards the Dynasty era. But as far as that, like, I really didn't see a whole lot of Kiss stuff. Our dad had a very small collection, but he kept most of it in a box in the closet. I never understood that. He had like a couple magnets in the fridge and of course a couple t-shirts and a poster or whatever, but he never really displayed any of his stuff. And so for me growing up, all we had really was our copy of Kiss Extreme Close Up, and we had taped the last Kiss pay-per-view from the farewell tour on VHS, and we also taped Kiss Alive 4, the symphony, on VHS. And so it was those 3 tapes that we just ran over and over and over again. That's all we had to watch Kiss. Again, no YouTube, no streaming, no nothing. It was just you, TV, VCR, and in my case, little brother, just watching Kiss over and over and over again. So all of a sudden, when you become like 12, 13, right, you start to develop your personality, your sense of self, identity. And I was already a Kiss fan, so I was just becoming even more of a Kiss fan. But all I wanted was T-shirts and CDs. I wasn't even thinking about like, ooh, I'm going to be a Kiss collector. I was like, I need to listen to more Kiss. And now that I'm in middle school and I'm, becoming my own person, you feel like you're just an adult when you're in middle school, even though you're not. But I wanted to just listen to Kiss and wear Kiss. And that's really where it all started. But it wasn't until I might even have one here with me. It wasn't until the Kiss catalogs, when the Kiss catalogs came out from Kiss Museum, where
Peter Arquette.
Yeah, exactly. Where I started flipping through and I was like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Like there's all this, insane stuff. I was like, can we get this? And, of course it was a Kissmas only thing, or a Christmas only thing. But we would, I got that shirt. Yeah, see, I could go through here and be like, oh, I got all this, I got all that. But we would.
That's why I loved you got that pinball machine.
Yes, exactly, because that was on the back of that, and I wanted it forever. And that was one of my holy grail items that I got this year. Absolutely. So I can credit that catalog because, and my dad too, because he was so cool. Because Christmas is always stressful for parents and kids, and they always make it about getting the right gift, the right video game, the right this and that. And for us, it was always about family and Kiss. And so getting to all of us to open up a box of Kiss stuff on Christmas Eve was always super fun. And of course, if anybody watches our show, they know we always do the Kissmas episodes, which we will continue to do this year. But that's really where it started for me until the Expos kicked in, which was a whole different ballgame. And I really wish I could make it out to this Kiss Cancer Goodbye event that's happening in Florida, because they got this thing called Expo City. And I'm just like, oh, get me an Expo City, baby. Like, let's go. But no, you made a good point about online shopping, where I feel like once the pandemic hit, for me, it became a lot more online shopping. eBay, of course, Kiss Museum, but even like Kiss Online would do the anniversary releases. I'm going to ask you this. When it comes to online versus in person, what do you think the ratio is for you personally at this point in 2024?
Online.
It's 100% online?
Mostly, because I don't think I don't have any luck finding good stuff. I always hear people finding good stuff, and I'm just like, well, I take that back. I have found good stuff, but it's hit or miss.
Right,
And
yeah.
I feel like it's more misses than hits. I get more hits on eBay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kiss Online.
For sure, absolutely. I don't know. I think the ratio for me, I don't know if 75-25 is the right ratio, but I can get lucky sometimes if I go into the right record store. Jeb always seems to know the best spot. If you ever go record shopping with Jeb, you're coming out with gold. He's coming out now. He's coming out with platinum, but you're coming out with gold. Jeb is a lucky charm when it comes to going record shopping, music shopping. It's always like, I find the one record I've been looking for, and he comes out trying to balance a mountain of records because he's found everything. But I can usually get kind of lucky when it comes to vinyl. But when it comes to actual like collectibles, it's super hard to find anything anymore in person. And so I guess my hope for the future in 2025 and beyond is that we would have that return to in person. I know it's not going to be like a full shift, but hey, if vinyl can come back, then so can actual merch product in store. And so I'm interested to see what Pop House will do in the future. But to make this relevant, what items do you think are you interested in at this point? What would get you to go, oh, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to the store. I'm checking my local this, my local that. And if it's not here, I'm going to go there. What would actually get you to go out and buy something in person as far as like either physical media, music, DVD, or just product merch?
It would be DVDs.
It'd be DVDs.
A Kiss home video release was like a perfect Kiss day. It was magic. Mm-hmm. You knew a Kiss video was coming out, and you took the day off of work, or took the day out, in my case, college. You skipped college classes, and you drove to the mall to find this home video. We did that for Extreme Close-Up, Confidential, The Second Coming, The Symphony. I miss those, and I was almost heartbroken a couple of years back during the cruises when Sebastian Bach asked Paul, will we see all this incredible footage? And Paul said there's not a market for DVDs anymore.
Right.
Obviously there is. Ghost is releasing their movie on DVD. I think hopefully Pop House has a different view on that, because, man, all of that Sam Loomis stuff that was on YouTube that got taken down, if that was packaged on DVD, I would request the day off of work, go get that first thing in the morning, and it would be all day long, just living room, bask in Kiss.
That'd be like a record store day for Kiss fans only. You know what I mean? That would be like, yeah, I'm going to my local Walmart, Target, Best Buy. I'm going to go to mom and pop record shops, anywhere that sells music, to stand in line and try and find that. I totally agree, because something like that could be a big, box set release, something really nice. And you were mentioning Extreme Close-Up and The Second Coming and some of those, and it gave me flashbacks of Kissology.
Oh,
because
gosh,
I have to credit Kissology. I mean, I Kissology was invaluable for Jeb and I. Priceless when that experience, because I remember being in Walmart, knowing nothing, just being in Walmart shopping, and all of a sudden in the DVD section I see volume 2 with Eric Carr on the front, and I'm like, is there a 3-disc, 4-disc Kiss DVD set with Eric Carr on it in Walmart right now? So of course I had to have it. I begged Dad, begged, and of course got it, and ended up getting the first one from the Kiss catalog from Kiss Museum, and then the next year in 07 or 08 maybe got the third one. And I so badly wanted that fourth one, but once I think Tommy and Doc explained the legal issues, it made sense why there wasn't a Kissology Volume 4, but I still don't know why there wasn't just any Kiss DVD ever.
Explain that. I must have been under a rock during that. Okay. What was going on with that?
Okay, so when they did Kissology, it was with VH1 Records, and multi-platinum, widely successful. Probably the reason why, Kiss has sold 100 million albums is because 25 million copies of Kissology was certified by the RIAA, and it was this huge thing. So it's like, what happened to the momentum? Well, they talked about doing Kissology 4 for a long time. Tommy kept saying, yep, it's all ready to go. Oh, it's all packaged. Unfortunately, VH1 Records went bankrupt, went out of business, was no longer around. And after a while of fighting to get that paperwork, to get the rights to this and the rights to that, because it was all through somebody else, and that somebody else is no longer here, fighting for the name Kissology, fighting for everything became just development hell, and it got lost and all that, and it became, I guess in their eyes, not worth it anymore. So due to VH1 Records going under and some of that stuff being unobtainable, they decided they couldn't do Kissology anymore. But that doesn't excuse them not doing anything else, something different, something new, because, I guess I will say Kiss Rocks Vegas was freaking amazing. My generation didn't get our third studio album and then our live album, kind of like, Kiss Alive. One was 3 records, a live album, 3 records, live 2. We got 2 studio albums and a live album, but it was that live album that made everything for me, the trilogy, as I call it, the modern trilogy. And that experience with Kiss Rocks Vegas was great because it was Blu-ray, it was DVD, it was the hardcover book, it was vinyl, it was, this and that. So it's surprising to me that there hasn't been anything like that for this last New York City show.
Well,
on that,
when you mentioned the talk of the documentary on your show a couple weeks ago, at the time when I was watching your episode, I was kind of bummed out on Kiss Online, and you mentioned that, and I got excited again. I was like, "Oh crap! If they're doing this, okay, I'm vested in again." That's why I can never. If you ever hear me complain about Kiss on an episode, no, it's just me in the moment because
right.
30 minutes later I'll be loving Kiss again. But oh my gosh, the Madison Square Garden shows were not good. We know that, right? We all saw the pay-per-view. I was at both those shows. I didn't think they were as bad as the pay-per-view, but when I came home and watched the pay-per-view, I said, that is not the show I was at.
Like, right, exactly.
It was just off. But the fandom of that week was amazing. And if they could document that, if they could document the road to that final show, from the announcement to COVID to the India show, oh my gosh, I just got goosebumps thinking about it, because that would, again, it's a living room Kiss day. You're just on the living room floor, you got all your DVDs in front of you, a booklet, boom.
Please don't think I'm trying to burst your bubble. I do want to give you a little bit of development on this, because I did see on Facebook. I'm so sorry. I saw on Facebook the other day, and again, this is just, I'm telling you my source. I saw where Bill Starkey posted, because he had said that he was interviewed for it and had signed release forms. He did say that a source that he's in contact with has said that it's been passed on to somebody else, meaning the person that was overseeing the project is no longer either involved or is able to be involved, and now it's being moved to somebody else to hopefully either be finished or shelved. Again, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, it being tossed over to somebody else to put the finishing touches on it, make it perfect, or this isn't worth it. So I really hope that it doesn't become like
old
the 2014
man here who's not on Facebook doesn't know anything.
Well, and that's why I kind of wanted to, at least, keep you in the loop, even if it does kind of bring the reality that this could end up being one more thing that doesn't get done, because I'm not sure if you remember the 2014 documentary and that whole hoopla. But I would love to see a 5-part documentary. I really hope it's something that gets turned into a physical, tangible thing for Kiss fans to hold and to have and to keep, because the A&E documentary was cool in the moment, but it's not like, unless you got a bootleg like me, you just don't get to have that and watch it every single day. So I think that was a missed opportunity. There needs to be some sort of keepsake from that, a keepsake from the Garden that isn't a golden ticket. You know what I mean? Something that everybody can have. So I don't know if we'll see that or not, but that's just what I would like to see. You know what I mean? As far as Kiss collecting goes. But anyway, we can get back on topic now, because I want to talk about the current state of Kiss collecting for us. So what has been your collecting focus, focus in 2024, and what has really been your concentration as far as Kiss collecting goes?
2024, I was really concentrated on double platinum for some reason. I kind of
That's right.
switched from Dynasty into double platinum, and I consider double platinum a disco record because of Strutter
Under
78.
78. Okay.
And so I really set out to, I got Paul and Peter Mylar posters from Peter Arquette. And I was like, well, I have two. So my goal is to get them all. And lo and behold, it happened super fast. I have every Mylar poster from the merch form
Yeah, dude.
and both the group shots. And it I don't know if like the disco gods were shining down on me, but like it happened like super fast. Usually like goals like that take a whole year or more. So
Hmm.
that was a big one for me. And just like everything double platinum kind of is my fancy this year, I think.
I love that. I thought the year of Dynasty was cool. I loved the double platinum thing that you did, and I got to tell you, watching those videos of you, getting those posters, and joining you on that. Thank you for bringing us with you on that
Mm.
journey because that was super fun. And congratulations and kudos to you on what you did for your local. What was it? The
Oh,
local animal shelter.
mhm. Yeah.
Where you auctioned off a poster to raise money that was donated to the local shelter. That was a really cool way to do something good in the world in your community, and I
Thank
think
you.
that was very inspirational. So kudos for you. I wanted to just bring. I didn't even think of that, but I wanted to mention that because that was super cool. I know how much you love dogs. Where's Strutter Boy at right now? Is he in the other
He's a
room?
yeah, he's just right there sleeping. He'll probably pop over
Sweet.
here in a minute.
Sweet, I love it. I love it. He's one of our favorite parts of the videos now. Just seeing him. But so I have to ask, is there going to be something in 2025 that's going to be like your focus, your theme, or what's up?
Ah, there's one item I want to find. I went through a phase where I kind of went down a poster rabbit hole. I think the Mylar posters led this. And I wanted to get every poster I had when I was a teenager. And I was able to get the Viewmaster Dynasty posters, those
Oh
kind
yeah.
of like 80s bootleggy looking posters. I was able to get all four of those. And then I was able to find these two. And I had these on my wall when I was a teenager. The loudest band in the world,
Oh my gosh. Is that an
Creatures
original?
poster. Yeah.
Holy crap,
And
dude.
so I was able to find that. I found that on Macari. And
Oh,
the
whoa,
guy,
really?
yeah, the guy gave me a really good deal.
Oh,
And so I was
wow.
like, because it's been tacked, but I'm,
Who cares? It's been
yeah,
loved.
yeah, people say, oh, it has to be mint. Nah. And,
Doesn't have to be.
and then the other one was this Gene poster from England,
Yes,
like
sir.
in the early 80s. So I had those two on my wall when I was a teenager. And there was one other one I had on my wall that I need to add to the collection. And the reason being is last Christmas, I was talking to my mom about our New York trip. And she said, I remember when you were in the first grade, you said you wanted a Kiss poster. And I was like, that would have been 1980. And
Wow.
I said, I did. And she goes, yeah, you were at our neighbor's house. They had a teenage boy. And I remember he had like a dirt bike. So we'd always hang out in his garage and like look at his dirt bike. And I remember he had the US tour poster. So this would have been 1980. So it was
Wow.
either left over from him being a fan or like a, bootleg or not like a bootleg, but a discounted poster. But I remember the bandage and the blood.
Right.
And I remember being fascinated by Gene, but I had never heard this story. I'm 50 years old. My mom has never told me this. And she said, I
Wow.
came home and asked, I will you buy me a Kiss poster? And of course she said no.
Right.
But because super religious mom, you're not gonna get that. But so it just made me feel good because I was like, this has kind of been my destiny since I was in the first
Wow.
grade, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
I've always been attracted to it, didn't know why, but So I would love to add the US tour poster.
So you remember going over to his house and seeing the dirt bike, but you don't. Do you remember seeing the poster?
I remember seeing the
You were seeing
poster because
the
I
Kiss
remember the
poster,
blood.
the blood, but you don't remember
Yeah.
asking your mom for the poster
No,
itself.
no, not
Wow,
at all.
interesting. That's still cool though that you have that core memory of seeing Kiss and being like, "Oh, that's dope. That's cool."
Yeah.
What, 8 years before you became a fan?
Yep. Oh, that's crazy to think. 8 years
Wow.
isn't that long. Like when you were
At the
little,
time it was, yeah.
forever. Yeah.
At the time it was like a whole
Crazy.
it was like more than a decade, but like nowadays it just feels like a couple years. Not that
That's
much.
crazy.
Wow. I love that. I'm I'm not really sure what I'm going to be up to in 2025. 2024 has been gratuitous. Uh
I love how you've ramped it up. You
it's
really like
it's really bad. It's really really been
I don't think it's bad. I wouldn't call it bad at all. I'd say it's really good.
I'm debating on whether or not I do a tally and see just how
No, don't,
much.
don't.
No, don't. Okay,
Nope.
good. I was wondering because all I know is that by June I had already gone beyond 2023, and I was like, oops. So yeah, but it's been a lot of like we mentioned the electronic pinball machine. I got the Kiss on tour. I'm not sure if that was December or January. I got the Kiss on tour game from 78, 77, whatever it was, but that was another holy grail. So it's the Eric Carr Unfinished Business Record Store Day release with the light up eyes, all the 2024 stuff. So it's been 2024 has been a lot. So I'm kind of wonder what it's going to be like for me in 2025. I think one thing for me I'm going to try and do is, as opposed to trying to add to the quantity of my Kiss collection, I may try and add to the quality of it, in the sense that I haven't got to put it together yet because it just showed up. But I decided to get a small magazine rack for my tour books. I have the big. This was one cool thing I added a couple years ago. I had too much magazines; they were overflowing on the shelf, and so I thought, well, let's just get a full rack. That'll look cool in the Kiss room, but it'll also be really nice at displaying all my stuff. So I now am going to put together this small rack for my tour books. And now that I have most of them sleeved, that was one thing too, is that when you're younger, you don't really think about taking care of your stuff in a long-term way. So I would display my tour books upright, leaning up against the wall on the shelf. And then when it starts to fold and bend, I'm like, oh, no, 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 you can't do that. So, I'm trying to store them better. I'm about to sleeve my CDs. So I think in 2025,
Oh wow.
I may, yeah, oh yeah. So Jeb is the one that gave me that idea. Jeb does not play. Jeb does not play when it comes to his music and his collection. Everything is pristine, top quality sleeves, top quality everything. And I'm over here with just like, yeah, put it on the rack.
Me
And
too.
so, yeah, no,
I don't think I could sleeve CDs. That would drive me insane.
yeah, I think because it's funny because I've actually this year started to open and listen to more CDs. I rebought the Kiss discography years ago, rebought it and kept most of them sealed because I wanted to be, just I wanted to have them sealed. But because of our album anniversaries that we've been doing on the show, I've been forcing myself to just break the seal on these Kiss CDs, pop them in the car, actually use them. But I'm afraid of breaking them because I'm super clumsy. I have a bad habit of dropping stuff, breaking stuff, or whatever it is. So any extra measure I can take to protect anything, I'm going to try and do that. So I think in 2025, I may just focus on rearranging things around and sleeving things and displaying things differently. I think.
I would you mentioned feeling bad. I would never feel bad about something that makes you feel good.
Oh
And
no, I'm not saying
that's
I feel like bad, like guilty, but you know what I mean.
but I mean, like sometimes I will like I'll be hesitant to buy something because it's expensive, but then I'm like, that's why we work, right? That's why we
True.
go to a job we hate. So we
To
can
buy things we like.
yeah. So just do it and just have fun. And that brings me to a question I have for you.
Okay.
What's the obsession? And I don't mean this in a bad way.
No.
What's the obsession with the perfume line?
What a great question, Rick. That is a that is a multi-layered question. So the line launched in '06, and Jeb and I didn't hear about it until I would say around 2010, 2011, when we were getting the catalogs. We would flip through the catalogs and we would see all this crazy stuff. And I mean, of course, you know, Kiss, they do everything from, you know, we got the little mini wooden baseball bat and the, you know, all the little belt buckles and everything. But I can think back to when we flipped the page over and I saw Kiss perfume. I'm like 10 years old, 12 years old. I thought, well, that's the dumbest thing Kiss could ever do right there is the Kiss perfume. And Jeb goes, really? I think I'm going to get that bar of soap. I was like, you're going to get the bar. Why would you get a Kiss bar of soap? And then he gets the bar of soap. And I'm like, that bar of soap is dope. And then now I'm like, why am I saying about a bar of soap? And it also came with this leather box. That's really cool. It has a leather box with the Kiss logo embedded or embossed on it. And then it came with the cologne, the bar. It was like a gift set. And I remember thinking, oh man, that actually is kind of cool. And then he would actually, you know, like use the cologne. And I was like, what? I hate cologne, but that actually smells really good. And then fast forward several years, I'm in college. I start to, you know, learn graphic design. I'm taking classes, learning how to, use Photoshop, Illustrator, design logos, posters. All of a sudden, I look at the Kiss cosmetic line, and I'm looking at it right now, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen because Kiss, their logo, obviously, it's very 70s rock. You look at logos like AC/DC and Kiss; they're very dynamic, very edgy, and cool. But then you look at you never forget your first kiss in the script font. It's very elegant. It's like a department store, and it should clash.
Mm-hmm.
It's something very Kiss and something very like dainty and almost like feminine, but it in a good way, And so I love looking at the aesthetic of the design. I love looking at the artwork. The products are great. So it's both Kiss fan and graphic designer in one, and it's one of those things where I look at it, I'm like, that is so cool that happened because it seems so unlikely. And the more I dug into it, the more random stupid stuff there was. There was the little, I won't tell anybody how much I paid for them because oh boy, but they had these little paper masks, these little promo masks that came on sticks, almost like masquerade masks. It has no relation or any relation to cosmetics and perfume at all. But for whatever reason, the promo masks, there was the little ink block cards. I mean, it just goes on and on. Everything had like a trial size, a big size, and medium size. So for whatever reason, it was like once I went down the rabbit hole, it never stopped. And I remember going to one of the Kiss expos in Indianapolis, and there was a vendor who was selling. I have 2 up there and maybe one more that's not displayed out in the closet. They were selling displays, like department store displays.
Oh wow!
Of the advertisements, and I was like, oh, I have to have that. And then come to find out, a couple of years ago, I was flipping through that Kiss catalog again, and I opened up to the page where it had all the Kiss, and it has the prices. Well, up in the corners, just for graphics, just for advertisement purposes, not for sale, it had pictures of the department store displays. And I'm like, wow. So not only do I have everything in the catalog that they were selling, but I had the things that even they weren't selling.
Oh man.
So the rabbit hole just kept continuing. One of the craziest things was the banner, one of the actual department store banners they had for one of the events, because Gene made a bunch of event appearances and would sign the bottles and all that. So I have a display that where somebody was working at the store, kept it and took it. It was supposed to go in the dumpster, and most of them did, but he kept this one and sold it to me for a pretty decent price. We negotiated for a bit, and I got it. So it's one of those things where it never ends, the fun. And I thought I actually had a complete collection until we went to Vegas, and I saw Gene's collection and saw 2 or 3 things that I have never seen from the collection, never had them. And I wish I would have taken a picture or made mental note of it better, because I don't even can't think of what they were, but the hunt is still on. So even when I
Yeah.
thought, so it's never ending. But that's my long-winded answer for why I'm obsessed with
No, and
the
I
Kiss
love it
cosmetic.
because it's just so much fun to go down a rabbit hole like that and be like,
Yeah.
this is going to be my joy for a time being.
Oh, absolutely. And what my joy has been in 2024 has been everything Kiss Indiana. I'm sure you know because you watch my
Mhm.
show. But once the Rose or last year's Indianapolis show, um, when it almost got canceled, obviously everybody was really upset because there were a few shows that did, and everybody was kind of wondering if Paul was going to be okay enough to finish the tour and do those, of course, Madison Square Garden shows. But once that Indianapolis show happened, I had this overwhelming sense of joy, happiness, thankfulness, gratefulness, and how proud I am to be a Kiss fan, a Hoosier. The Kiss Army started here. Paul Stanley shouted it out from the crowd, talking about Bill Starkey. We're filming today on November 21st
Yep.
when Bill and Jay started the Kiss Army in Terre Haute. So I had this, for the first time in my life, I felt proud to be where, proud to be where I'm from. Everybody's always like, "Oh, I hate my hometown, hate my home state. Yeah, it's boring, it's run down." It's like, you know what? I'm here. I was born here. Might as well make the best of it. Might as well love it, and I have a reason to love it. And so I started to just go on a deep Kiss Indiana rabbit hole. Started buying concert tickets from previous
Mm.
shows. Found some from like the '80s. Couple maybe from the '70s, I think. No, 84, 87. Couple from the Hot in the Shade tour and stuff like that. So even Ace's, a couple Ace picks from the farewell tour. So anything Kiss Indiana this year was like, oh, I have to have it. I even got the Kiss convention poster. My parents were at the Kiss convention up in
Mm.
Indianapolis at the Ramada when I was 2 months old, sitting at home with grandma. Um, while they were out meeting Gene, I got pictures of them, hanging out with Kiss. Eric Singer was in the elevator. So just buying that poster kind of made me feel like a part of that. And it made me feel something good. So that's been my thing for 2024. Also, the Kiss 2024 stuff that's come out, the Dynasty shot glasses, the beer gift set from
Oh
UK. But
gosh,
dude,
that is beautiful.
I got lucky on that too because I had been looking for one of those for a long time and just kept getting out. I mean, not a long time because it just came out, but like every day, every other week, I was like getting outbid on an auction for this thing, and I wasn't going to spend too much money on it because it is just a beer gift set. But I was like, man, it's cool. It's Kiss. It's 2024. It's got to be imported. It's a challenge. I like a challenge. So once I finally got it, and I remember, I took some pictures of it. I think I posted them already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I posted it, but I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is awesome. So I love looking at it, but I'm not really sure what's going to be the thing for 2025. Again, I'm hoping there is something new to collect. I think we got spoiled with the off the soundboards and the anniversary release. I can think back to when they did the Japan merch drop, discounted. It was like there was all these things happening left and right. And 2024 has been mostly quiet. There have been, of course, a few random merch drops. There's the KOL anniversary releases, but there hasn't really been anything for Kiss fans to, I think, sink their teeth into in 2024. And so I'm wondering what it's going to look like in 2025. Do you have any like ideas, any guesses, or any like speculation or any wants? Like, oh, this would be cool. They should do this. They should do that.
I would I would love to see them continue the off the soundboards, but I would love to see a new design.
Yeah.
I've only bought one, and I bought Des Moines. And the reason I bought that one is A, I love Alive 2. It's basically Alive 2 set.
Oh yeah.
And then B, that show was the night after they were here in Kansas City.
Oh really?
And
Okay. I did not
a
know
lot
that.
of my friends were at the Kansas City show as little kids. And
Wow.
so to me, listening to the Des Moines show, I'm getting to hear what they heard the night before. So
Right.
I bought it really for nostalgia, but I love it. But it was the first Kiss album I've ever bought that I was just absolutely sorry. It's just one
Oh,
second.
you're good.
It was the one Kiss album I purchased that I was just absolutely disappointed in once I bought it. I I opened it up and it's nothing. And Kiss albums should not be like that. Yeah, it was
Right.
colored vinyl, but off the soundboards should be just beautiful. They should have a an amazing cover, a gatefold, a splattered vinyl. They should be a a celebration of that show. And I just think that I get what they're trying to do, like it's like a bootleg, but it just doesn't work for Kiss. Kiss albums should be magnificent.
Yeah, I really liked what they did with the Japanese versions because the
Yes.
Japanese versions, and this would almost, it's crazy how little they could do to make a big change because the big difference between what we got with the American and the Japanese was the white background.
Hmm.
The ones that we got just were brown cardboard. And it's like, even if they had a white background with the black logo,
Hmm.
and the colored vinyl, that would just look 10 times better. But because it's a brown cardboard, it really does feel underwhelming. It really does. And so I don't know if we'll see any more. I really hope we do.
Oh, I
But
mean they have to release Sydney,
dude,
the
that would be
1980
insane.
Sydney show.
That would be the ultimate.
I
The
mean, that would
radio's
be
the
perfect.
only lie. Yeah, that would be the
Oh
best. Yeah, you know.
my goodness!
You know.
And like I was thinking of the off the soundboards, and I thought like if you worked for Pop House or Universal, and a a director came to you and said, "Xander, whip me up a off the soundboard Sydney package, gatefold, splattered vinyl, cover and back cover. I want it in an hour." Guarantee you would design something so incredible, far more incredible than a cardboard album with a stamp on it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean, and of course we're not throwing any shade to Tom Germain who designs these because it's not his, he
Yeah, yeah,
has
yeah,
to
yeah.
work within the direction he's given. So what I liked about what he did with it was he always made the logo special to that era or that
True.
show. I love that because the Tokyo had the obvious, Japanese
Hmm.
looking characters and then the Animalized, you could see the Animalized print over the logo, and then you could see the British UK flag over the
Hmm.
Donington. I love the different little touches he did there, but yeah, how much cooler it would have been to even if they just had again a white background, and then the Japanese version of the Tokyo came with a mini version of the farewell tour book,
Hmm.
and it even had the insert
With
with
the Eric.
Eric's.
Yep. Yep.
Come on, that is cool. Could you imagine, dude?
I saw that insert and I immediately went to the website and I was just like, "Yep, I'm ordering that." Like
You got one?
the mini, yeah, with the
Yeah.
insert. Mhm.
Oh wow, that's sweet, dude. See, I need to get that because I've seen it. I haven't been able to pull the trigger on it. I haven't been able to I guess I haven't really. I'm sure I could probably find one if I went and looked for one, but that I thought was super cool. And it's like they did it already with the Japanese. Like,
Yeah.
why not just do it for everybody, right? You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I don't know. I can only hope that they do another off the soundboard. You want the Sydney show? I'm trying to think. What I would want because this might sound. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
I would
Sydney
love an
would.
80s show.
Sydney would be. Yeah,
I
Sydney
mean,
would be
more.
great. We got Animalized. Hot in the Shade
Mhm.
would be fire because that would be
Oh
like
gosh.
20, 25 songs of boom, boom, boom. Like
And
fast in your
yeah,
face.
and classic tracks too.
Oh, a Revenge soundboard. We all know how good Kiss was at the Revenge tour. That might blow everything out of the water. That
Yeah,
could be the worst sounding quality soundboard they release, and it would still be top tier because it's
92 Kiss was a beast.
it was yeah it's at the pinnacle when it comes to musicality, tightness. Nothing. I mean, very little comes close to 92. So I guess in all honesty, for Kiss fans at this state in 2024, they could release anything and we would want it, because I feel like it's just been it's been kind of slow. You know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on box sets?
It makes me wonder whether we're ever going to get another soundboard or another box set, because I feel like they really dropped the ball with the first album, and even Hotter Than Hell. I mean, 50th anniversary, that's big. There's never going to be another 50th. There's never going to be another anniversary this big until the 100th anniversary. And who knows if anybody's going to be around to even, want to celebrate it like that. I know I won't, you won't, none of us will be here to celebrate 100 years of well, maybe I will be. I'll be old, but like it's possible. But it just, that's a really missed opportunity. You can't do 51, 52, so they would have to, I guess at this point it would be Kiss Alive. Next year marks 50 years of Kiss Alive. If they drop the ball on that, then I don't know what to say, because that to me is a no-brainer.
And I almost wish, like, I bought Destroyer and Creatures. I was super happy.
Yeah.
I was excited. I couldn't wait till it showed up. But then I was like, why didn't you guys do these in chronological order?
Mm-hmm.
Like Metallica did. I would have been all about that. Knowing every year you get a new box set.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you'd be like, there's 20 studio albums. I'm getting fed for that's 20 years of guaranteed income. And by the time you get to Monster, it will have already been 20, 30 years. So there's your 30th for Monster. It's like you would start and end on a high note.
And we wouldn't have to have a conversation on what's going to be what are you looking forward to next year? Because it'd be like, well, I'm looking forward to the Hotter Than Hell box set,
100%. And I feel like even if they did do, a 50th anniversary for the first album last February and then announced one or maybe delivered one, whatever, in October, that's enough space apart to where diehard Kiss fans, collectors, will shell out the $300 needed for that box set. 300 in January, 300 in October. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. We're going to feel it. But again, that's why we work. That's why we slay. That's why we grind. When the Destroyer box set came out in, what was it, 2021, 2022, whatever it was, it was like, we're finally getting a real Kiss box set. I mean, and it's funny because I think the Kiss box set came out, the anniversary of the Kiss box set from 01 was recently. That one was really cool, but this was, I mean, it was incredible. And so my only hope is that they do more, because when we talked about the Elder, I was like, the Elder box set would be mind-blowing.
Just imagining Gene's notes or reprints of Gene's notes. Like I think you and I maybe talked in your comments on your video. Christopher Makepeace, the Meatballs kid, he did vocals, right? He did
right.
Audio.
Yes. Oh, yes. The spoken word. Oh, of course.
Yeah, he's credited on the back of the record, so it's out there. It's in a vault somewhere.
Yeah, and one of the things that was really cool about the Creatures box set was you got all those sound effects of like the turbine and the wind and the gargoyles. It was like only a true deep minutia Kiss fan would like that. I know, and I'm saying, imagine the Elder sound effects and the Elder. I don't know. It makes me want it so bad. So it's funny how much they're not giving us when they could be making so much more money.
Yeah.
And my only hope is that Pop House is watching.
Yeah. Do you think because I only know of one person who bought Creatures vinyl version. I've only heard of one person.
I know one person as well. Yeah.
And do you think the lack of sale of those has made them rethink box sets? Because that's a mistake if they are thinking that way.
Mm-hmm.
Those are ridiculous prices. I would never pay that much money for a box set.
There is absolutely no reason to pay $1,000 for any box set like that. I mean, the vault you can get away with because of everything else that came with the Gene experience and whatever else. But this is something that's being mailed to your door just as is. You're hoping it doesn't get damaged in transit, and let's face it, it's coming from KOL, so it's going to be damaged in transit. So $1,000 is just absolutely ridiculous, especially considering that it was just everything we already got for less than half the price, but just vinyl. It makes it so much more, I feel like, just impractical. You can only listen to vinyl at home. And you can listen to CD in a car, in a stereo, wherever almost. And so it just felt like it felt redundant. And it's funny that you asked me that. What do I think about does that make me, do I think they're rethinking box sets? It wouldn't surprise me if they say, oh, well, they didn't buy the $1,000 box set, no more box sets. Because corporate and corporations seem to be ass backwards when it comes to almost everything they do. It's like, here's the way to do things. I have an idea. Let's do this. And it's like, you know what I mean? So
it wouldn't surprise me. It's never a fan. It's never a fan.
No,
it's a guy who's been given this position and is being paid a lot of money that has no loyalty to it.
He has no loyalty, and he has some data that suggests that this would be the best way to go. There were some things, I'm not going to get into it, but like it seems like there's always a direction to go, and then the direction, oh, hang on a second. I think I have absolutely no clue what was going on. What was I even saying? That distracted me.
You got really heated, and you said, I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to corporate, there's a way to do things in a way that would get fans going, and then there's this other way, and let's do that way. Again, like we said, let's do it off the soundboard, and let's put a bunch of inserts, a gatefold, high gloss, maybe a Mylar cover, and get this, let's make it a shitty cardboard. Yeah, green light that. And it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Well, and didn't you, when you bought the off the soundboards, sorry if I'm just railing this to the ground, but didn't you buy the trading cards?
I bought the trading cards one time, and that was for Tokyo. And yes.
So put those in the record.
Yes. See, oh my freaking gosh, you're absolutely right. Instead of trying to gouge us for every dollar, it's like, make it worth our while, make it worth the money we're paying. So no, you're absolutely right. They could have had, like, even if it was just the trading cards and an insert poster of a shot from that era, that's all you need.
Because since 1975, Kiss has given you something in a record almost all the time. Alive had the booklet, originals with the cards and the sticker. Like, continue that.
And they kept that all the way up until Monster. Sonic Boom was packaged beautifully. That gatefold, that poster, those color vinyl. I mean, yeah, they're expensive, but those color vinyl, like, that was a whole thing. And then Monster comes out, and which I love the album, I love the artwork, but no inserts, no poster, no lyric sheet, white sleeve. That's it. No gatefold, nothing. And then you get the off the soundboards, and then we can get into the random Kiss icons release, and it was just like, I don't know. It's crazy how much less love is being put into it. And we can't say that's a Gene and Paul decision. Maybe it is. But somewhere along the way, the love got taken away. And I want to segue here for a moment into vinyl, just a broader topic, because I feel like ever since 2014, vinyl has, sales have risen in vinyl. There was for Kiss fans, there was a 2014 reissues. We can pretty much expect a brand new anniversary release of every Kiss album. But in 2024, I can't help but think that vinyl is starting to once again run its course. I found myself buying vinyl less this year. And it's because I have everything. And at this point, I'm just buying everything again. And unless there's a reason to, and it's worth it, I don't see a reason to. And for me, and I'm going to toss this over to you and quit rambling, but it almost seems like the vinyl now has just become anniversary release and color variants. It's like, off the soundboards were great because we were getting stuff that we hadn't seen before. So it's like, where is that at? Where's the actual music as opposed to just what's around that. You know what I mean? I'm not sure,
Mhm.
not sure if it makes sense or not, but like, do you feel like you're buying vinyl as much? You're enticed to buy vinyl as much, and do you think that
I don't.
maybe we're starting to see that kind of over the hump as far as vinyl goes?
I would definitely agree with that because a few years back when that Love Gun Tangerine splatter
The
was
Walmart.
released on was
Hmm.
released on Black Friday, I went to every Walmart within a 50-mile radius. Could never find one. So I
Wow.
always wanted one. And they're back on Kiss Online now,
Okay.
and they're at Amazon. And I'm not picking one up.
Right.
So what has changed? What has changed within me that I'm not aware of? And basically it's, do I really need another Love Gun?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And not unless they do what they did with the 2014 or 2016, whatever, 2015, whatever it was, the deluxe edition, where they
Mm-hmm.
had like the Gene interview, a
Mm,
couple demos. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, there you go. Give me the album and something else. I already have
yep.
the album. Sure, I'll buy it again if it has something cool.
Yeah.
And I don't want no fucking T-shirt. I don't need another Kiss T-shirt to be bundled with my Kiss
You don't
vinyl. You
you
know what I
don't
mean?
want a hot in the shade hoodie with
I quit smoking, and that makes me think of Camel cigarettes. And I used to smoke Camels, and I don't want
oh god,
to.
I use Camel Special Lights were my jam.
Yeah, Turkish rolls, man, all the way for
Oh
me.
really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. See, I miss the old days back when you could smoke and you didn't think about your health.
dude, my lung collapsed in 2020, and I said
Oh
I'm
shit.
done. Yeah, my lung collapsed during COVID. I was up in the hospital for a week. I got out, smoked a cigarette, and it collapsed again. I thought, oops, okay, we're
Dang.
done. We're done. So, but yeah, no. Anyway, so I have a question for you because you just showed that, and it made me think of this. What's up with the camel on Hot in the Shade? Because I don't think there was. Is that just like something that they kind of inserted, or is there actually a
Well,
camel involved on Hot in the
no,
Shade somewhere, the
I
actual album, or is
I
it just
think it's
desert?
just I think it's just something they inserted, and I hate when, again, I'm not bashing Kiss, but I hate when Kiss does this.
Uh huh.
They they seem to add something to a shirt, and I feel like it started with that boots shirt, and then on the back it said like these boots are made for rocking. Like you don't need that slogan. Just the boots are
Just
cool
the
enough,
boots. Yeah.
you know, or like they have like a super cool picture of the band, and on the sleeve it says "Let me go rock and roll." You don't you don't need that. And you're a graphic designer. What is this? On the sleeve, there's like a flame. It's so
See,
weird.
it just seems it's
It's
kind of
very
just there. Yeah, it's not very
yeah,
cool.
and
It
it's
should be, if anything, it should be the logo, the Hot in the Shade logo.
yeah, and it's just one sleeve. It's just on
One
the one.
Hot in the Shade. It's so random. Yeah, someone's like, oh yeah, here we go.
I mean,
Copy this
just
from
put the
Canva.
logo on the front. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
don't know.
kind of.
It's
I'll still wear it, but
yeah, it makes me think of the Animalized merch they did, where they had the shirt that had the Animalized logo that was really cool, but then they had some kind
mm,
of tiger on it, and I was like, the
mm,
tiger has. I mean, I get it, Animalized, but has no. Take the tiger out and put Gene and Paul from the Animalized tour for some photo shoot and put that on there. You know what I mean? It was like, I feel
mhm.
like when it comes to, I would love to buy. Here
You
we go
disappeared again.
again. I know. So I think my webcam died, so I'm going to use the native webcam on my camera, which or my laptop, which is not as great. But either way, I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yep.
Fantastic. And once again, where were we? What was I talking about?
We are talking about the odd designs on
How
merch.
they're just throwing random stuff on there. Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like they're just. I don't know. I would love to buy more kit. I showed in one of my recent episodes the Elder shirt I had on that had images of Gene and Paul from the Elder, and I was like, "That's era specific. That's super cool. I like that." And then when the Animalized merch came out, there was nothing for Animalized. The Revenge 35th or whatever it was. There was nothing, no images of the band, and so if I have just one thing to say about the T-shirts and the merch, it's like I want more images of the band. I want era
Mhm.
specific images and not just random graphics that you can copy and paste from Canva. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's get real here. So yeah, I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. But do you have any other thoughts on like KOL and where we're headed in 2025 as far as like what you want to see music wise or merchandise wise?
I would love if they would bring back Army memberships, but make it more than just, a t-shirt and a keychain. Bring back the Army kits. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't care if it costs $80 a year. If I know I have a folder of KISS stuff coming to my mailbox
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what it's going to be, I would be so excited.
I would love to see that, but done through Pop House and not KOL.
Yes.
I think unless KOL can really pull something out, I don't see me buying from KOL. I love this poster. It was way too expensive. I only bought it because I have a YouTube channel and it's going to be shown on every video. I may not have bought it otherwise. I do love it. I bought one other thing from KOL I'm going to show at some point, but I just feel like buying from KOL is just becoming less and less of a good experience. My packages are always seeming to get lost. They take forever to get delivered. When I get them, they're damaged. The prices are constantly, jacked in prices.
There's a nice big ding in my Hot in the Shade.
Yeah, when the Revenge 35th anniversary came with the Mylar or the hollow foil cover, the one of the bottom corners just has a gnarly, like you could fold the whole corner. And I thought about messaging and saying, hey, send me a new one, or hey, look at this, what the hell? But I thought, you know what, they're either gonna make me work for it, or they're not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be worth my while. So I thought, you know what, I don't even care. So I'm hoping that because Pop House is in a position now where they can do some really cool stuff that Kiss themselves just maybe couldn't do. Doc made a comment on one of the shows that he was on this year and said, our team was small. We had a very small team, and now we've passed it on to this really big team who has more people, more resources, more money. And that just makes me think, oh, well, then, the possibilities are limitless. Makes me think, hopefully, they've been spending 2024 cooking up ideas for production in 2025, because I just feel like, and I want to get the viewers' opinions on this too. It feels like 2024 has been very, very spotty and very, very shoddy when it comes to, something for Kiss fans to actually engage with, something to take home and something to keep. Again, I mentioned the gift set and the Dynasty, shot glasses, and then there was the re-release of the figures. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. I was hoping you would, because they were so cool. I was like, man, Rick has to have these. They're so dope. I'm glad you did.
The minute you showed the back, I was like, sold.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And see, I didn't realize that when I bought it. So when I bought it, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and open these. And I noticed in the back, I was like, oh, they went hard. Like, they went all in. That's what I like, is when it's a step up. Kiss has always been about being a step up. And so even if it's something as small like that with our Kiss merch, something on the back, something cool. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's what I want to see. I want to see something cool, something new, something more. And I feel like Pop House is in a position to do that. So as we're winding down on the Collectors Conference, is there anything else you want to say? Was that going to conclude the conversation? I want to make sure we had a nice, well-rounded ending here.
That was great. I mean, I love collecting as much as you do, and I think it's the lifeblood of this fandom. The prices are a little outrageous now, and hopefully they die down soon, because it is silly. But
yeah, it seems like the 70s stuff, well, I don't know, it's hit or miss. It seems like some of the 70s stuff keeps declining, like the posters and belt buckles. I know belt buckles has always been your thing, where it's like you want it, but you're not going to just spend an arm and a leg for a belt buckle. Mm-hmm. But it seems like there are certain things in the 70s that seem to keep climbing. And then there are other things that kind of maybe have come down. I was surprised to have gotten my Kiss on Tour 77 board game for well less than $100. And that
no one talks about that enough.
Yeah, and if you
That's
ask me, I would be like, yeah, that's 100, 110 minimum. But I got that for like $70 maybe.
yeah, no one talks about that piece of merch enough. That is so pop culture Americana. A board game,
Yeah, right.
a
Yes.
Kiss board
A
game.
Kiss board
Like,
game.
and just it people talk about vintage merch and they rarely mention that. And it's such a
I
cool
know.
item.
And you know what? I'm gonna be a little salty for a second because I don't actually at the end of the day care about getting the most views or whatever because I know that the people who watch my channel like the stuff I make and they get something out of it and I love seeing all the people in the comments week after week. But I got to admit I really thought that when we did that video of all three of us playing that game, I thought that video was going to get a bunch of views and that was going to bring in a bunch of people and it was going to be this whole thing. And it got less than the views that our normal video would get.
Mm.
And I was like, man, just when you think you have a handle on the YouTube algorithm, because I know, like when I did my Kiss Phantom video, I knew, oh, this is going big. My Paul Stanley 8mm, I was like, this is what YouTube is made for. And then I got to the board game and thought, oh man, I'm on a roll, baby. And it just got lukewarm views. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I did something wrong with the thumbnail. Maybe I did something wrong with the intro. If you notice, our camera was sliding down the whole time. It starts
Mm.
out on us, and then as the show goes on, it started filming the floor, and so that's why it switches to just the board game view, and I had to like reset the camera up. But anyway, it still is a really cool, fun piece of merch, and the price on that one, yeah, fluctuating is wild. And then you have something like the Blood comic, which you actually can't. There you go, the Blood comic here, which when I bought it, I said I'm not paying more than $150 for a Kiss comic book, and I had seen some going for 150, so I thought, okay, 150 for good condition, that's perfect. I got that one for 125, and now I see them going for 300, and
Mm.
it's like the price on that doubled. Who decides that? I mean, I know obviously we do when we set the price, and then when we buy the price, So, but it's crazy to see those things uh, just drop in price and raise in price. I don't know. It's wild.
When I was in high school, my friend Danny wanted the Howard Stern Private Parts book, and he didn't have enough money for it. So I bought it for him at Walden Books, and he traded me the Marvel comic.
Oh, really?
So I
And you
bought like a $15 book. and,
and you ended up,
uh-huh.
yes. That was an investment right there, brother. That was a long-term future investment that paid off for itself pretty well. Oh, that's good.
Still, still have it. He doesn't have the Howard Stern book anymore. So,
Well, I mean, there you go. That is
mhm.
awesome. So, I do want to get to this now because we're almost to the collector's corner, which I think fits in very well with this episode. So, but before we do that, I want you to tell us about what you've been cooking up for us in
Oh yeah.
2024. What is this special announcement that you have for us, Rick?
So last year, if you follow my channel, I did I wanted to do like a fanzine, and so I did like an old school Xerox style. Yeah, the wax pack. Did an old school Xerox style fanzine, and it was just cut out black and white typewriter style, glue stick on paper and then Xerox it off because I wanted that 80s
Badass.
feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to do something in 2024 the same way, and I didn't know how to make it feasible. I thought about doing like an army kit thing, but I didn't want to set up like a Patreon and have people pay into the Patreon and then have them get an army kit or like a wax pack kit from me and they're like, this is crap. I paid money for this. I didn't
Mm,
want that.
okay.
So I thought if I could create something that I would like to do and put it out there for people to buy if they want, that's what I would do. And so I made a Kiss journal, and it is 365 days of Kiss prompts,
Oh my God.
and starts January 1st all the way to December 31st. And the more I got into it, I thought this is pretty fun because it's not a Kiss book. It's more of an interactive fun book for you, a Kiss fan. And I mean, there's 365 days in here, so it does get pretty nerdy.
Oh
I
yeah,
apologize for that in
I
advance.
can't wait.
But let's just say, what day will this upload your video?
This is going to be going up. I can pull that up right now. Let me get the calendar up real quick. This will be going up on the 24th of November.
Okay, so the 24th, I said 24th journal entry. Kiss Second Coming was released today. Was the 1996 reunion a smart move by Kiss, or did Kiss at that point simply become a nostalgia act?
Okay.
So
that's an essay right there. That's an essay prompt, bud.
It's a little chance for, and I'm actually looking forward to doing this myself next year, because it's been so long since I've written it that I've forgotten a lot of the things. And so every now and then I'll go and I'll look at a page and I'll be like, oh, that would kind of be fun to. So I'm going to do it for fun. And I think it's just the perfect. I like to just have fun being a Kiss fan. And I think this is a good way to have fun every day next year being a Kiss fan. Rock and roll all night and journal every day.
Absolutely.
With the Kiss Journal. It's going to be on Amazon on November 29th, Black Friday. So it'll be up
perfect
there.
In time. Yeah.
Yep. Nice little Christmas gift for yourself or the Kiss fan in your life. Rock and roll all night and journal every day.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. When you announced that, I was like, oh, it is on, because now that we're winding down towards the end of the year, I'm like, okay, so we made it 1 year without Kiss on tour. We made it 1 year without, post end of the road. So, but man, what's this going to be like in 2025? And so now I know exactly what I'm going to be doing in 2025. Every single day, I'm going to be writing in my Kiss journal. And again, essay prompts, getting the mind going. I'm going to doodling, sketching, whatever it is I want to do. I'm actually really excited, because this is going to be one of those things that doesn't, you buy it, you put it in a sleeve and put it on your shelf. This is the thing that when you buy it in January, or when you buy it on Black Friday, it'll look pristine. But let's fast forward 1 year when it's been opened and it's been written in and it's been loved. And I'm like, I cannot wait to have that to do, and then also have it to look back on. And it's things like that put It's All For You Demon at the top of my all-time favorite, my all-time favorite Kiss content, because you're doing the most when it comes to things like that. I would sit and wait for the wax pack, and then Daphne and I would sit here in the Kiss room and flip through and read, whatever it is, the summer, the winter, the fall, whatever it was, talking about all things Kiss, Dynasty, the end of the road tour. Every issue was something cool, and I've been waiting, man, because you said you were going to do something cool in 2024. And I thought, well, maybe he forgot, maybe he got busy. I know the basement's been an ongoing issue. And I thought I'll give him some grace, and then here you come, exceeding all expectations with the Kiss Rock and Roll All Night Journal. I'm getting a copy for me. I cannot wait.
It kills me to release it on Black Friday, because technically you can't use it until January, but I kind of wanted it to be like a Christmas kind of gift, holiday, gift. So I thought Black Friday was the best day for it. I'm already working on a second idea. So
I was maybe going to ask.
That'll be released next fall.
Bingo. Perfect. Can't wait. See, there you go. I got something else to look forward to now. But no, I was super excited when I heard that. And I think Black Friday is the perfect, because you just made an event out of this. I hate Black Friday. I hate Black Friday shopping. I've never gone until 2024. I'm going to wake up. I'm going on Amazon. I'm buying a Kiss journal that my friend wrote and published himself. And you better believe I'm going to be posting this all over our Instagram, all over our Facebook.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to be mentioning it on the show, showing it on the show. And I can't wait for everybody to join in on this. I think it's super cool. And I hope to see more things like this. So thank you for all the hard work that you did. I cannot wait to actually own a copy and get going. That's super
Thank you.
cool, dude.
And
So
my favorite part, I have to just say it because I had to put
Oh
my
yeah,
dogs on there. There's a
absolutely.
Larmar and Pee Wee.
I
They're
love
on
it.
the cover. So
Has to be. I love it. Yeah, I think you included one of those in the wax pack too. The classic Creatures of the Night image edited with the pups.
yeah.
That's just perfection right there. So we're gonna move in now to the collector's corner. Last week I actually surprised everyone and didn't show anything new. I didn't have anything new. I was actually waiting on something. Well, that has actually arrived. So this comes from Kiss Army Warehouse, and it's small but very awesome. So this is a commemorative guitar pick, or it's a guitar pick from June 3rd, 2010, when Kiss was in Germany for the Rock am Ring show. So you're thinking, okay, well, I know, Xander, you weren't there in Germany, so why do you have this? Well, first of all, I can think back to when I was a sophomore in high school, when that show was uploaded to YouTube. If you go on YouTube, Kiss Rock am Ring 2010, you can watch that whole show, and it is fan freaking tastic. And so that was my entire sophomore year. I can think back to high school, watching it with my friend on YouTube. Modern Day Delilah, I'm an Animal, Say Yeah, the new songs. And then all of a sudden, several years later, Kiss Army Warehouse uploads, or I see on the Warehouse where they uploaded, they're selling all of Eric's drum heads from that tour. And I got one from my show, from the Hottest Show on Earth tour in Indiana, but I also got the one from Rock am Ring because, number one, I'm a huge Kiss fan, love Eric Singer, but also that show was kind of important, watching that show in high school, and then come to find out that you could buy for pretty cheap these guitar picks that came from the show that just weren't used. And so for the Sonic Boom Over Europe tour, Hottest Show on Earth tour, and the tour, any picks that weren't used, they just made these little pieces of paper. And yes, that is a Mylar. It's in a sleeve, but it does have a little bit of a shine to it on the logo there.
Nice.
Of course, the German logo, which I think is
Mhm.
also really cool. On the back is just some info about the official Kiss collecting tour pick, Sonic Boom over Europe. But so the reason why I got this is because I thought I already had it. I have one over here from, let's see, this is, let me open it up because there's supposed to be, you can see where it has the date right there. It says 3/6, so that's the 3rd of June 2010, Kiss, but there's actually a member on the back of them, and I'm
I
drawing
love
a
that
blank.
it's the altered logo.
Yeah, the German logo. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
the German logo there and there. Super cool. And on the back, I think, is this one Gene? Yeah, so it's got Gene's signature on it right there. And I could have swore I already had this because I have one from Paul, and the other day I checked my Gene one, and it's actually from the night before or the night after or whatever it was. And I was like, okay, so I've had these for a couple years and didn't even realize that because you can only have one side displayed, and the side that was displayed is the one with the logo. So I turned it over to see the date, and it wasn't June 3rd, the same as that drumhead. It was June 1st, I think. And I was like, okay, so either I accidentally ordered the wrong one or they sent me the wrong one. Either way, I don't care. Now I got to go back and get the correct one. So here it is, the Kiss Sonic Boom Over Europe tour, a guitar pick from Gene Simmons, June 6th. So I finally have that. Very small, but very mighty. Love it. I have a question, though. Do you have anything new to show today? Anything you would like to show?
No, just the Hot in the Shade bundle.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did
It's
show that.
been my newest acquisition, and just kind of heartwarming, I guess, would be the poster inside. It's not the exact pose, but the same photo session
Oh, that's cool.
was my very first Kiss poster I ever had out of the Might and Magic book when I
That
was
is
15.
awesome. And that was
So
in the
it,
that was in the record?
this
Oh,
was
that's
in the
sweet.
record.
That's cool.
And yeah, so in that Might and Magic magazine was my first Kiss poster, and it was a tiny little magazine poster of that. But that was kind of fun to see that and realize that here I am 50, and when I was 15, same thing was hanging on my wall.
No, that for real, man. That is really cool. Thank you for showing that because I don't think. Now, which version was that again? You said the 30th anniversary,
35th.
35th. Okay, so that was that was this year. Okay, yeah, I missed out on that one. I decided to skip that one. I wanted to get those sunglasses. They had the
Oh
Hot in the
yeah.
Shade sunglasses, but it was just the Kiss logo, and it was like $15. I wish it had the actual Hot in the Shade logo on it. If it had
And
said Hot in the Shade,
weren't the original ones from '89? Didn't they have the Sphinx in the like engraved or kind of
ooh,
on the lens,
they
like when you
had
shined it in the light?
it was something special like that because they weren't
Hmm.
just these were just basic plastic old things. Yeah, it wasn't as special as those original ones were, and so that's kind of why I ended up passing on it. But it would have been cool to get that, I guess, in hindsight. But it is what it is. Thank you for showing
Now
that poster.
I would love one of those promo pyramids. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah, I've seen Bruce showed
Oh
his on his
yeah.
channel. Yeah, that's a holy grail for sure. Actually, since we're talking about Hot in the Shade, you can kind of see it right there.
Oh
Is
yeah.
an
The
album
the
flat
flat.
with the postcard. Yeah,
I love that. Is that the MTV postcard? Asking people to call in to MTV.
that's it. Yep, it is.
Yep.
Yep, 15 brand new checks. Kiss Army wants you to call in, and yep, that's it. I love it. Um, so the last thing I always do, of course, and it fits right in with this episode, is the Kiss Merch of the Year. Which this one, I don't think I even said it. This is episode 119. So naturally, I'm going to
Nice.
show something from 2019. And like a good host, I have it right here. No, I don't. So give me like 10 seconds. I'm going to grab this real quick.
Okay.
I've been showing a lot of tour books recently, and I'm kind of glad I got these because, of course, I got to show the 2019 End of the Road tour book, which when this thing came
Beautiful.
out, yeah, no, when this one came out, I was like, holy crap. First of all, I mean, the colors, the shine, the gloss. I got the previous couple tour
The
books.
smell. Have you smelled that thing?
Ah, it still smells brand new. It still smells like
Uh-huh.
it's fresh off the printer. And there's the back. The back is really cool too. Those shots, those photos of the band I mean, they've never looked more Kiss than this right here.
The glossy centerfold
Oh
is the
shit.
best.
Oh, Jeb bought the actual lithograph off the website and
Is it
has it full
shiny?
blown. Oh, dude, it is. Yes, it's every
Oh,
bit. It's every bit, and and there it is. And I love. Yeah, no, they went all out with this. How cool do they look just standing there in front of a wall of records? Love it. They did a good job with this tour book, and I'm not sure if this is version 1 or version 2. I'm not sure how you can tell.
it's
Um,
the on the very back cover at the bottom. There'll be a green on the inside.
on the inside
Back
of the
cover
back
on the
cover.
inside. Yeah, there'll be a green like V in the corner. The
Okay.
bottom.
Yeah, mine doesn't have a
Here,
green.
I'm pointing to myself. I look like an old man. I'm like pointing to my screen.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I don't. Yep,
there.
V2. It says V2.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, V2. I didn't think it was the first one. I knew it was one of the first ones, but yeah, so there is version 2. It just makes me I just can't believe it's been what 5 years since the tour started. It's
It's crazy.
almost 6 maybe actually since it'll be 2025. It'll be 6 years in January since the tour. But anyway, yeah, I think that's the best thing about Kiss collecting is that when you get these items, they kind of remind you of the past, and you can look at an item and you can go, I know where I was, who I was with,
Oh
what I
God.
was doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes I was looking at some things earlier and you got to jog your memory. But when I look around at our collections, you can really get a sense of who that Kiss fan is and what they've
Mm.
done and what they've been through based on what they have in their collection. And it's like our own personal biography, I feel like, with our Kiss collections. And so,
And that's the fun of it is to like make it personal, like make it
yeah,
reflect you. Mm.
absolutely. And I think,
I grabbed a 2019 piece
oh,
that I
yes.
like.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't skip over
So
this.
my the first end of the road show I went to at Madison Square Garden.
So the first and the last show you saw was both at the
Yeah,
Garden.
actually all three end of the road shows I saw were at Madison Square Garden. So
That
there's
is
the
picture
back
perfect.
with the there's the back with the
The
garden on
icons on
there.
them. Yes, and
And
the
then
Garden.
there's the front.
No, that looks. They had the best shirts on this tour. Every shirt they released, it was like I couldn't get them all because there was too many. It was
Yeah.
it was awesome. I almost wore one tonight, but I thought since this was one more thing that this year I got when this came out almost 10 years ago, I was like, I have to have that shirt, and money was tight at the time. I couldn't get it, but to be able to have it in 2024, it's like good things come to those who wait. And you mentioned Kiss and Star Wars earlier, so boom, there you are. I love this
Uh-huh.
shirt. I
And
love it.
as a Kiss collector, it's like a Tom Petty song because the waiting is the hardest part.
Bingo, bingo. Yep,
And that makes me. I just have one question for you. Is
absolutely.
there a piece that if you got, you'd be like, okay, I'm done?
You know, that kind of happened this year with Kiss vinyl, and I don't think I've ever shown it on the channel. So again, if you want to give me a second, about 10 seconds,
Okay.
I'm going to show you. All right, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and if I have shown it, I apologize because I just did a whole setup here, but
Ooh.
this is
Wow.
this is Kiss Alive 4 on vinyl, an original pressing. This is number, let's see, it says the number somewhere. Maybe it's on the inside. But this is 8,584 of 10,000. So this is an original first pressing of the Kiss Symphony. This I never knew they even pressed a vinyl until I was in high school. And when I
Mm.
saw the price for this, I about choked. And this is one that has only gone up. I think back in the day it was like $250. This is
Mhm.
one that if you find for 500, that's a good deal. It's like this one you'll see get to 4 digits. It'll get about to $1,000, which is
Mm.
stupid. And so it was always a bummer for me because this is my era. This is
Yeah.
what Kiss Alive was to everybody else. This is what this was for me. The symphony orchestra, the big bombastic 3-part act with the explosions and the orchestra and makeup, it was incredible. And so this has been a holy grail item. And Jeb got this.
Oh wow.
He because again, like me, he's been looking one for just as long, and we always said, may the best man win. And he said, I got good news for you, we both win. I bought one and then forgot that I had bid on another one, and so I got two. Here you
Oh
go.
wow.
And I said, you are the best brother I could have ever asked for. So we
Exactly.
both walked away with our own copy of an original first pressing of the Kiss Symphony. And so having this, if I never got another Kiss vinyl record, so what? I have Kiss
Yeah.
Alive 4. I got Sonic Boom from Glenn from Tales of a Kiss Geek a couple years ago. So yeah, this is one of those holy grail items that I'm just over the moon about.
Final wise, I think for me it'd be the Dynasty misprint.
What's the misprint?
It's the uncropped where you can see like the white.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, I held one at a record convention. The guy wanted 1,000, and
Yeah.
I couldn't. But
Yeah, no, it's stupid. Okay, I tell you what, if I ever see one, I'll know. I'll
yeah,
know to I'll be thinking of you. I'll either send it your way and like, hey, here's the link, or you'll just go to the mail and you'll just see it in the mail. But either way, now I know. Dynasty misprint. That's really cool. Man, thank you so much for joining me. This has been
yeah.
absolutely incredible. A lot of fun. What a great way to kick off the Kiss Collectors Conference. This has been
Thank
fantastic.
you,
So
thank
absolutely.
you. I love talking shop, and like I said, I think your channel is a flagship for being a Kiss fan. It is a safe place to go and a fun place to go, and you're carrying the torch. It's all on you, man.
Thank you. And I will carry it. I will carry the whole thing on my shoulders with one hand, and I'll vlog it with the other if I have to. If that's what it takes to keep this torch burning, keep this flame going, I'll do it. And with you guys next to me and with me, we can do no wrong and we can do no harm. So thank you so much for joining me, for being with me. Kiss Army, you've heard us talk about the past and present and the future of Kiss collecting, and so we want you to join in too. How did you get started on Kiss collecting? Become a Kiss collector? What's it been like for you in 2024 post end of the road? And what do you want to see in 2025? You know, when you look at Pop House and think, okay, Pop House, you know, it's all you now. What is on your want list? So yeah, leave those in the comments. Be sure to check out Rick's channel. It's all for you, Demons. Subscribe and do not miss this Friday coming up is the release of the Rock and Roll All Night and Journal Every Day Kiss Journal by Rick himself. Get it on Amazon. Perfect for yourself and any Kiss fan. I'm looking forward to it. This has been awesome, man. Thank you so much. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on episode 119 of Kiss Army Things. My name is Xander.
My name is Rick.
Peace out. Rock on.